Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Bojan Petreski. Today is January 26, 2022. This is the Nailing FX and Crypto session on our channel, Tradictiv, with Trade with UFOs. The disclaimer is there for your use and your protection, that this is for instructional and educational purposes only. So let's go ahead and get started. Should be good to go. Just double checking things here on my end. Looks like everything is good. All right. So this is the agenda for today. The current market environment is what we'll review initially. We're going to review any closed trades, open positions, we don't have any right now, and then trade execution and new opportunities. So what we're going to have here is our TradingView platform. We're just going to load our trade window. All right, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the majors to see how we're looking today. So today is a pretty up day. Excuse me. Today is a pretty up day for the equities and even crypto. Um, but there are some important news coming out today. And if you were with me at the previous session, you will also know that today is when the interest rate decision comes out by the Fed, and also in Canada, the interest rate decision comes out today as well. So for those of you trading the CAD, definitely be on the lookout. Let me just pull up and see here the previous trades that we've had before. See how we're looking, because we're going to be basically doing a new format of trade tracking now. So I don't 222. 2 can't be right. It's 2021. All right, so 2022 we had a Cardano setup. So here we are, reviewing previous trades. We did have a Cardano setup at dollar 18.59. So let's go ahead and analyze this one. See how we did. So this was on the 12th. So let's go pull back to the 12th. And that's right here. Okay, so the 12th. Let's pull that back. Doesn't look like we got filled, because I don't see any little arrows here. So 1815. I'm sorry, 1859, not 1815, 1859 on the 12th. So around here somewhere. So 1859 looks like it never came to. Okay, so that's that. Cardano never filled. Bitcoin, we also had a setup on Bitcoin, which actually filled us right then and there. But with this one, there was an issue with the take profits. I'm not quite sure why that was happening, but it was canceling out one take profit and keeping the other. Don't quite know why that was happening, but let's take a look here. That was also on the 12th. Let's just make this a little easier on ourselves instead of scrolling that much. Let's fix that up real quick. All right, so on the 12th, yeah, that was a fill there on the 12th. So our targets, all right, so our target was 43. So if we got filled here, so our target was 43.59. 43.953 was our first T1. And this was done on the 8 minute. So we're going to have to go on the 8 minute just to take a quick, sorry, just Used to different platforms, different hotkeys. All right, let's go back to the 12th of January. That's here. Okay. All right, here we are. So if this was the fill candle right here at 10:36. So let's take a look and see what happened here and see if we got a fill on this, which I don't believe we got filled, and we didn't get stopped out either though. So 43,147 was our profit target, and so our entry was at 43,550. So let's check, just do that real quick. So our entry price was 43,550. Our profit level was at 43,953, and our stop level was at 43,147. All right, so looks like our T1 did get filled right there. Okay, so that would have been T1. Now let's go ahead and roll this back a little bit to here. So we got T1. Okay, let's go to the next candle so we can have it. There's that T1. All right, looks like it shot quite a bit up over there, only to pull back down. And there we are. We have a new UFO. So that would mean that the stop now gets moved into profit. So that would be, just do a quick horizontal line here. So that would be the stop right there. All right. So our stop would have been moved there. So definitely in profit. And then let's see what would have happened. I think it's probably going to get just stopped down, which is fine. Oh, never mind. We get to move it. That's the beauty of replay. Okay. Another UFO was right there, right below this low. And there it is. Okay. So that would have been, T1 right there, and then a trail stop right here. Let's just call it 43,880. All right. So T1 at entry, well, I'm sorry, entry was 43,550. We got T1. T1 was 43,953. And then we have trail stop at 43,880. Right? Keeping it very simple. So that's a trail stop. So, not a bad trade by any means. T2 for 330, and then T1 obviously 1-to-1 to 403. So if you just took this, well, depending on the size you took, but we're looking at 330 plus 403, so that's a total of $733 movement. So overall, a profitable trade. So this was the Bitcoin, and this was a 4-hour time frame. I'm sorry, hour, 1 hour setup. So that was the entry, and then the stop was at 43,444. All right. The T2 ultimately on this one was actually all the way up at 45,550. Didn't quite get there, obviously, but that's where we are. So okay, that's for Bitcoin. Any questions, guys? Any comments, or just kind of looking and trying to figure it out? Either way is fine. Let me just realize this one chat has not opened. No, I do have it open. Okay, there it is. Okay, and let's see the next one that we have. we had the dollar franc hourly setup. Okay, so that was the setup. Let's take a look and see if that one got filled. All right, this was also on the 12th. All right, I do see two entries here. This is on the 2nd of December. This is on 7th of January. So that's not this one. Um, Nothing on the 12th. That was on this drop down. And then obviously it must have, I must have set it to cancel. So it looks like this one did not fill. So this was that drop we were going for. 92,130. The high of this one was 92,444. So we may have just been a little bit, I think we were just a little late because I see that the drop was already at 91,664 when we put our trade entry at 92,130. So no fill for this one. All right. And the next trade we had, the last one for that day, was the dollar yen. All right. Dollar yen on the 12th. So that's the 15th. Nothing filled on the 12th. Yeah. Let's just go pull back a little bit here, but obviously it's not there. Must have moved without us and quite a bit to the downside too, if you ask me. So, okay, so that one's a no fill. So let's go ahead and reset ourselves and kind of redo what we usually do, which is look for opportunities. And I typically start from the highest time frame and then work my way down, just because that highest time frame gives you a little bit more stable information, let's call it, right? Higher picture, higher level information. And then if we need to and we want to, we can drill down and figure out where we could see some entries and setup. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing we do is we need to have our eyes right here at this bottom portion of the window. That is the auto climate. That is giving us the climate of this instrument that we're looking at. So whether we should be looking for long opportunities or short opportunities. Right now, as we see on the dollar yen, we are on the 6th confirmed candle down daily. Again, this is the daily. Out of typically 6. So today is the definite last day to be taking trades to the short side for this one. The disadvantage of this one is the fact that the next thing, the next step that we look at, and let me just go one by one. The next thing that we look at is we look at this 9 moving average, the 9 EMA that you see has a value here of 114,229. We're looking to find a coinciding UFO that coincides with the climate, right? So we're looking for a red UFO to go short on that coincides with this 9 moving average. And when I say coincides, I mean the value of the moving average is enveloped by the UFO. Okay, so in this scenario, because we obviously don't have that, let's say we had a UFO, here, something like this, right? Well, this UFO, right, let's say it was something like that, the value of the EMA being at 114,229, somewhere around here, right? So that means that this EMA is now enveloped by this UFO, so therefore we can enter in this trade. However, that's not the case right now, so we cannot do that. But that is what we are looking for. All right? Now, as far as the entry, obviously we answered the question of where we're entering, right? We know why we're entering because the climate is confirmed. We know where we're entering. Now, where are we exiting for profit and for loss? Whether or not the market decides to give us a loss or give us a profit, that's entirely up to the market. But the things that are in our control, which is where do we enter, exit, are questions that we should definitely answer every time we enter a trade. So let's go ahead and answer that question as we keep looking for a trade, so it's easier to understand and see. So let's go to the 4 hour and 21 minute. All right, so the 4 hour is already a confirmed up climate. The moving average is at 114.052. However, let's say this were to pull back a little bit. Do we see the moving average that's at 114.51? Do we see it dropping into this range of 113.978? I would say absolutely. So there we go. We now have a trade. All right. So first thing to notice, obviously, we have a confirmed climate there. 3 blue candles. The third one out of typically 8. Okay, so that means we have another 5 4 hour candles, which means another, let's say, day that this will be a valid trade for. Let's go ahead and set this up so we know what we're doing. And to make it a little bit more visual, I'm also not only going to put the trade on, but I'm also going to use the TradingView long positioning setup so we know exactly what we're looking for. All right. So let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to just disable that real quick. Enable that. 113.978 is our entry point, right? You see that number, that value right there. Okay, and we're going to be taking a profit or a stop loss. Now, to take a profit or a stop loss, right? What we're looking for is to be entering in an area where we will be proven wrong. Okay, so let's say this market were to pull back down. Let's say, we have something like that and then like that, right? That means we're in this trade. Now, because of how Forex is, right? It's not a centralized exchange where it gives you exact to the pip information, right? They're pretty close, all the exchanges, depending on who you use, right? It could be Oanda, could be LCM, could be, any number. Who goes way, Hanko Trade, there's just so many. You could be using any one of those. All of them are all of them are gonna be moving in the same direction, but the pip values may vary a little bit. So the reason why we do what we do is we want to make sure that whoever's trading on those exchanges also sees what we're seeing. What I'm trying to say is we want to give a little bit more wiggle room to the stops, right? So you see that this one ends here at 113.872. Well, if we follow our rule, which I'm gonna share right here, in a very simple notepad file, right? When we're buying, we're entering, we're going to round up 2 pips for entry so we don't miss out on the trade. For our stop, we're going to round down and take 5 pips for the stop. And then for the target, we're also going to round down and add 2 more pips. Okay, so let me just repeat that one more time for you. So for the entry, we're going to round up and add 2 pips. So we're going to round up here, 113.978. So this is 988. All right, and we're going to add 2 more pips. So this is at 114 even. All right, same thing for the stop loss. We're going to go now. Let's say this UFO here is our entry UFO. So our stop has to be somewhere below here, right? Now the problem is not problem, but the issue with that is that we do have another UFO here. So let's see if this is going to work, right? Remember, we cannot be putting our stops inside of the UFO. So our stop being at 113.872 is the bottom of the UFO, right? 113.872. So when we round that down, right? Round down 872, round it down to 87, and take another 5 pips. So that's going to be 2. So 113.82 is actually within this UFO by just a little bit, right? It stops at 82.9. So what do we do now? Well, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to move it down one. So that means we're going to use this UFO within our entry price. So that means we're taking into account that if price comes down, right, even this UFO is valid for us. And then hopefully it does that, right? So these two UFOs we're going to combine as one, and our entry is going to be at the top of this UFO. Our stop is going to be below, and our T1 is going to be approximately 1-to-1 from entry to stop. All right, this is approximation here because obviously I'm just drawing it, but just keeping it easy and simple for clarity. So let's go ahead and buy it again. I said 113,978. Round it up to 988. Add 2 pips, that becomes 114. Take profit and stop loss, so 113,829. So round it down, that's 82 minus 5 pips. Let me see just 1 second here. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at a chat here. 82, so minus 5 pips. We're looking at 77. Right? 12 minus 5 is 7. All right. And that's 23 pips. So that's our T1 to 1. All right. So just going to put a vertical line here so it's easier for us to find the next time we're looking for this. Just going to get that to extend. Not what I meant to do. Where is it? Vertical. That's where the trade was found. Right, so it's easier for us to find when we're looking for it. Okay, and let's go ahead and put that on. Oh, actually, last thing, risking 150. All right, so and very last thing, right? We said that this is going to be good for a day, so we'll let this ride until. Oh, look at that! It's actually set for itself. Good for the day, 625. Yep, that's fine. Actually, let me just double check. Plus 4 hours. So I do want to give it the other 4 hours. So not 625, but we're going to do another 4 hours. So 10 to 11. Yeah, let's leave it like this until 11 tomorrow. All right, that's that. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to buy the 114. Our stop loss will be the same at 113.77, but our take profit is actually going to be the opposing, as you see here, round down the common time frame, which our common time frame is this one on the right, the 4 hours, a very common time frame. Round down the opposing common time frame UFO. I think this needs to be -2, not +2, because when we're selling it's +2, but when we're buying it's -2. So 115, 114, right? That's the first opposing UFOs right there. So 115, 114. We round it down, that's 11 -2. That's 09. All right. So that's that for this one as well. Buy it. And that's that. We're all set. One last thing before we let this go, right? We're going to take a screenshot. So 2022, 0126. This is USD yen. This is the 4-hour setup. And that's that. We're done with documenting and making sure that everything is looking good. Any questions, any comments, anybody have anything to discuss or review or you want to go over, now's the time. I'm just gonna simply just document this trade really quickly. And we should be on our way. So if there are no questions or any comments, I'd like to say thank you for joining me for the this first half of the session. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to our private stream only for now. So if there are any questions, please, now's definitely the time. If there aren't, I will catch you guys next time. I'm just gonna show you my email right there one more time. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at boyan@traddictiv.com. And of course, if you are interested, please visit the tradewithufos.com/Boyan to be able to access a multitude of information, including a question board where if you have a question, you may actually see that question already answered there. If not, though, that's okay. You can shoot me a quick email. Alrighty, folks. So that's that for this one. I will catch you in a bit on the private stream.